What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and I'm here back again with another video for you all today. And this one I'm actually pretty excited to make because this is essentially a part 2 to my top 7 best free VSTs video. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. I'll put it wherever the cards are. So that'll give you yet another 7 VSTs that you can check out. So yeah, basically today I'm going to be showing you guys quote unquote 7, but it's actually like quite a few more than 7. I'm going to have some bonus VSTs at the end, which are more like effects VSTs, and then I'll have, you know, some more extras thrown in the mix here. So I'm also going to put whether the plugin is available for Mac or only Windows, and if it's 32-bit or if it's 64-bit or both or whatever. Also, you should be able to use most of these with whatever DAW that you're using: Ableton, FL Studio, LMS, Logic, Cubase, I don't know, whatever else. Also, another thing that I should mention is that these VSTs are not in any particular order from best to worst or anything like that. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I've produced, my beats on my Discord, all that stuff you guys already know. And now we can get into this video. Okay, so the first one that we have here is called Collab 3 or Collab B3. I don't exactly know how you say it, but it's a really cool organ type VST. It's like a Hammond organ digital thingy. But this is an awesome plugin. It has a really amazing sound. It's honestly pretty surprising that it's a free plugin. There's not a ton of presets that come with it. If you go into here and then you go to factory, this is all the presets that you'll get. But that's honestly not a huge deal because you can just mess with these knobs down here and, you know, these and whatnot and get whatever sound that you like. So here's how it sounds a little bit. This is the Jazz Basic preset. So yeah, obviously you'll get different sounds as you mess around with these knobs and, you know, figure out what kind of different combinations work for you. But honestly, the sound quality that you get from this plugin is completely insane for, you know, the price of free. Alright, so the second plugin that we have here is called Ample Percussion Cloud Drum, and this one is super awesome. I just came across this one recently. It's basically an emulation of like a hand pan kind of thing. This plugin has a super nice kind of ethereal vibe. I can see it probably being used for like maybe some video game music if you're into that, maybe some lo-fi or something, but you know, however you choose to use it is completely up to you. But yeah, it kind of sounds like this. As you can hear, it's got that super dreamy feel to it, and this is, I think, used a lot for percussion because you're supposed to play this with like a mallet, or some of them you play with your hands, I think. So yeah, you can make chords and stuff out of it if you want to, but I don't think it's really meant for that per se. But also you can adjust all these values over here, so you can change the way like the microphones are set up. Then also there is like 10, 15 different presets in here as well. If you click through this right here, you'll get different sounds. So yeah, super cool plugin for whatever you might want to use it for. Okay, so number 3 you've probably heard of, and I'm also going to pair it with another plugin, so we'll call that one 3.5 or something. But it's basically Spitfire Audio Labs is the main one, and then BBC Symphony Orchestra is 3.5. So if you've been making beats for a while, you've probably heard of both of these plugins by now. But however, if for some reason you haven't heard of these plugins, I 100% recommend that you do go download them right now, because these are by far, like hands down, the best free plugins, 2 of the best free plugins that you can get. It's actually mind-blowing that these are free plugins. So basically the way Spitfire Audio Labs works is that it has a bunch of different like presets that you can download, and these are basically all like professionally recorded different instruments and stuff. There's the soft piano, which is completely amazing. It's probably the best like free piano that you can get. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. The strings on this are insane. It's got some amazing choir like vocals that sound amazing as well. And there are literally like a bajillion different instruments that you can download. It kind of reminds me of Kontakt a little bit because they're all kind of like individual banks within themselves. And also be warned that each instrument is at least like a gigabyte, so you're gonna need quite a bit of space for this. But for high quality, you know, sound quality plugins, you're usually always gonna need quite a lot of space. So also there's these knobs here that you can adjust as well depending on the sound. You can change the attack usually, add some reverb. One thing that I have noticed with Labs is that you will probably need to turn the volume quite a bit up because otherwise it's gonna be really, really quiet. So yeah, that's basically how Spitfire Audio Labs works, but now I'm going to talk about plugin number 3.5, which is BBC Symphony Orchestra. So basically the way that BBC SO, or whatever you want to call it, works is that you go to the Spitfire website, you fill out like a survey or something on their website, and then within 14 days they'll send you the full version of this, or you can buy it for like 50 bucks or something. These violin strings are just absolutely beautiful. And then for all you trap producers out there, there is a piccolo and flute sound. Basically, it has any sound that you're gonna have in a regular orchestra. So the horns, the woodwinds, the strings, and then the percussion as well. So they've got, you know, the harp and some mallets and stuff like that. But not only that, they also have different options for each section. So for the violins, you basically get 4 options. So you get the long one that I played, and then you get the spiccato ones, so that sound like this. And then you get the pizzicato ones, which is like plucking basically. And then also you have the tremolo option. And like I said, there's a bunch of settings just like that for each and every instrument that you click on. So you've basically got like a bazillion different options here. So yeah, both of those are insane plugins, amazing plugins if you need like some real sounding, live sounding instruments. These are the way to go. So for number 4, we have Sweetcase EP, which is a plugin that I found out about pretty recently actually, and it has some super nice electronic piano / Rhodes kind of sounds in it. There's only a few different presets, but this is honestly all you're gonna need because you can also tweak the knobs and everything too. The knobs don't really give you a whole bunch of options, but however, you can go into this little button here and adjust like the envelopes and adjust like the phaser, EQ, reverb, all that stuff. So you have a couple more options inside of there. In my opinion, it is a tad bit lacking in features, but however, it does give you a super smooth electric piano sound. So yeah, I like this plugin a lot. You can use it for a variety of different genres. I've used it for quite a few different things in my time using it, and it's kind of just a nice little tool to have in your back pocket. So at number 5, we have Room Piano V3, and this is a super nice piano plugin. There's no presets or anything, it's just the bass sound that they give you, but the bass piano that they give you is super nice sounding, very realistic sounding. And also, as you can see, there's different parameters to play around with, so you can turn the volume up, you can add some reverb. You can also change like the LFO or whatever, like this. Then you can also adjust whether there's more low end or high end coming through, and if you turn up the low, it makes it sound a lot more powerful. So yeah, this is a really nice plugin. I could see this being really good for lo-fi because of the LFO adjustment thing, or for literally any other type of music where you need like a realistic sounding piano. So coming in at number 6, we have this Surrealistic MG1 Plus plugin. And when I got this plugin, it was free on Plugin Boutique. But however, if at the time you're watching this, for whatever reason, it's not free, they, you know, made it paid again, don't hate me or anything, but it has been free for quite some time now. So this plugin is basically like an emulation of an analog synth. And there's a bunch of different presets actually, as you can see, just a ton of presets. And they might not all sound great for whatever genre that you might be making, but I know some of these sounds would be really good for like some synthwave stuff, or maybe like some pop / disco, or maybe even some EDM music. Also, this could be a good plugin for you if you're starting to learn sound design and starting to learn like how to work analog synths and stuff like that. It's got a lot of cool controls on there that you'll probably see pretty often. So yeah, you can mess around with those and practice your sound design skills. So I'm gonna play a couple different presets that I like from this plugin for you guys. So this is a great plugin for getting some vintage analog synthy kind of sounds. Most of the presets in here, you'll probably have to put a bunch of effects on to get them to sound good, because since this is an emulation of an analog synth, all of the sounds are like pure, straight up just waveform, you know, so there's no added effects or anything. So for number 7, we have a plugin that's kind of in the same category, kind of in the same vein as the last one. It's Tal Electro, which some of you may have heard of. Didn't really pay it any attention until recently, when I found out that a lot of the plugins in here work the same way as the last plugin, where if you add effects and stuff onto them, they sound really good. And also, same as the last one, this will be a pretty good plugin for if you want to learn some of the basics about sound design and stuff. But also, if you're not really into that, there's a bunch of presets in here as well. So there's a ton of bass sounds and a ton of leads. Basically, those are the main things in here that I really use, the leads and the bass sounds, but the basses are super nice. And then here's a couple of the lead sounds. So yeah, this is a great plugin for, once again, if you need some older kind of analog sounds, or if you're doing some more experimental stuff, anything that you're creative enough to make, you can do with this plugin. All right, so now that we have the main 7 down, as you know, the title of the video suggests, I can get into some of the, some of the secret ones for you guys. I'm basically just gonna be going over like some honorable mentions and then some effects VSTs as well. I'm just gonna kind of rattle through these. I'm not gonna play any sounds from them. So the first one is ample bass guitar, which I probably should have included in my last video when I said ample guitar, the normal one. But however, ample bass guitar is super good. It's probably the closest thing that you'll get in a VST to a real sounding bass guitar. So yeah, go check that out if you need a real sounding bass guitar. Also, there's this plugin, which is called Golden Piano, and it's a pretty big file size. It's, I think, more than a gigabyte, and there's only a few different presets, and they don't really sound the greatest, which is why I didn't put it in the main list. But however, there is like a couple presets in there that I might use out of the like 5 or 6 presets that are in there. Also, I'm putting Tyrell N6 in the honorable mentions because I'm sure most of you guys have heard of Tyrell N6 by now. But if, however, you don't know about it, you should definitely check it out. There's a ton of presets in there. It's kind of one of those plugins that's hard to believe that it's free because it's really, really good. Also, a little tip for some of you who may have the plugin already. When you click on this, there's only these few plugins and stuff, and you can click down if you want. But to see all the plugins, you can click on the presets thing here, and then it'll show you every single one. And there's like a bajillion different presets. Now I'm gonna show you guys some of the free effects VSTs that I think are pretty good. The first one is called VeraSpeed, whatever it's called. It's basically like an emulation tape delay plugin. I found this one after watching Kenny Beats' first quarantine video where he used the tape delay inside of there. So yeah, this is kind of like that. It doesn't work as well as a real one, but it is still cool to have. Also, kind of in the same vein, we have Tape Cassette 2, which basically kind of makes it sound like whatever you put it on is recorded on tape. However, it's not like amazing or anything. It's almost like a less lo-fi isotope vinyl, which might seem a little bit unnecessary, but you can get some cool sounds out of it, so it might be worth your time checking it out. Then also, I'm sure you guys have heard of Magic Switch. I had never really paid it any mind before because I always thought it was like kind of tacky, kind of a lame effect, but after checking it out, it is pretty cool. It basically adds like a chorus effect and a little bit of reverb, I think. Also, I have this Tal Chorus LX, which is basically like an emulation of a Juno chorus, which is a super iconic chorus effect that Roland used on their Juno, you know, keyboards and stuff. Also, we have ambience, whatever you want to call it. This is a super nice reverb slash echo delay kind of VST. It looks pretty tacky and pretty 2005-y, but however, it does give you some great like ethereal kind of sounds or just some regular reverb too. All right, so last but definitely not least, in the effects VST section, we have Gralien 2. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but this plugin is by Auburn Sounds, and this is essentially autotune but for free. So anybody who wants to play around with their own vocals and stuff, but you don't have autotune, this is an amazing plugin for you. All right, so that's pretty much gonna do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you were able to find at least 1 or 2 new plugins that you could add to your arsenal, your beat making arsenal. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Also, let me know which of these plugins was your favorite. I think my favorite plugin would have to be Spitfire Audio Labs. I know it's kind of cliche, but I do use it on like 75% of the beats that I make because it's just an amazing plugin. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with a playlist of songs I produced, my beat store, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you guys want to, and I will see you guys next time.
No, we don't share mothers, but yeah, I still love them like we share blood. No, I gotta keep going, I can't give up.